All right, welcome. We're going to break down everything you need to know about the A3 reflection for your Web Media Lean Startup course. Our goal here isn't just to get you through it, but to help you absolutely nail it.
Okay, let's dive right in. The first thing you have to understand is the core challenge of this whole assessment. It's so easy to fall into the trap of just listing what you did each week, but the real task, where the marks are, is to go way, way deeper than that. And that really boils down to this one question. Seriously, if you can answer this, you're on the path to a great grade. So what is the difference between just describing what you did versus critically reflecting on it?
This example says it all, doesn't it? Description is just a statement of fact. I built a new landing page. Okay, so what? Reflection is where the magic happens. It connects that action to evidence, a crazy 90% bounce rate, and then, crucially, to an insight for the future. We need to rewrite the headline. It's all about answering the so what for every single thing you do.
So your real mission here is to show your growth. This isn't about pretending everything went perfectly. It's about giving an honest, authentic account of your learning journey as an entrepreneur, including the mistakes and the messy parts. That's what shows you're developing the right mindset.
So how does this actually work week to week? Well, the course gives you a really clear structure to follow, which is great. It's designed to make sure you hit all those key reflective points every single time.
Every week, in your 300 to 500 word submission, you've got to cover these 7 areas. Now, don't think of this as just a boring checklist. Think of it as your guide. It literally walks you from describing what you did all the way to critically evaluating it and pulling out those powerful evidence-based insights.
Now, one of those 7 topics is something called LSPI, and it's a big one. This is where you have to take a step back from the day-to-day and look at the bigger picture. You're thinking about the ethical, social, legal, and professional issues of what you're building. It's about being a responsible founder, not just a creative one.
Okay, so on top of your 10 weekly entries, there's one last big piece to this puzzle. It's the final reflection, and this is your chance to connect all the dots and tell the complete story of your journey.
This final review is a much broader look at everything you've done. It's longer, about 800 to 1,200 words, and it should really capture the whole evolution of your project, right from that very first idea all the way to your final pivot.
You're going to be hitting all the big moments here, the key turning points, the tough decisions you had to make, and yeah, both the successes and the failures. The whole point is to show how your thinking evolved over the entire course.
All right, let's get to the part I know you're all thinking about. How is this thing actually marked? Understanding the grading is key to putting your effort in the right places. Just look at this breakdown. Content, what you actually talk about, is worth 40%. Critical thinking, your analysis and problem solving, is another 30%. That is a massive 70% of your grade right there in those 2 areas. That's where you need to focus.
And you're graded on a scale from 0 to 5. Now, look, just describing what you did might get you a 2, an emerging score. But that's not what we're aiming for, right? To hit proficient or even exemplary, you have to deliver that clear, evidence-based analysis we keep talking about. That's the goal. So the big question is, how do you get those top marks? How do you consistently hit proficient or exemplary? Well, here's a simple 5-step plan you can use for every single reflection. It's designed to move you from simple description to that deep analysis.
Follow these 5 steps in order. It's a logical flow. Start with what you did, then explain what you learned from doing it. Then, and this is so important, back it up with evidence. Analyze why it happened. And then you close the loop by planning your next move based on that insight. Now, if this process sounds familiar, it should. It's really just the famous build, measure, learn cycle dressed up for your reflection. And it all starts with build. What did you create? What did you test this week?
Next up, measure. This is where your evidence comes from. It's not about what you think or feel. It's about the data, the analytics, the survey results, the direct quotes from customers. This is the stuff that grounds your reflection in reality.
And finally, you learn. This is the payoff. This is the aha moment, that new piece of insight you pulled from the data. And the most important part? It has to be something that changes what you do next week. Okay, last but definitely not least, let's cover the rules of the game. Just some quick, practical details you need to get right so all your amazing reflective work actually gets the credit it deserves. The logistics are pretty simple. You submit through Moodle every week by Saturday, use Word or PDF, label it clearly with your name and the week number, and, this is a good habit, just ping your supervisor to let them know it's in. And remember, you need a minimum of 10 of these.
Now we have to talk about AI. For this assessment, the policy is incredibly strict and you need to pay close attention. Using AI to generate the content of your reflection is, and I quote, strictly prohibited.
And just to be absolutely crystal clear on what that means, using a tool to check your grammar and spelling, that's okay. But using an AI to generate a draft for you, to rewrite your sentences, or to come up with any of your core ideas, that is not allowed. It's a serious academic integrity issue.
So you might be wondering, why are they so tough on this? It's because the goal of this assessment isn't just to produce a document. The whole point is that this process is what builds the authentic, reflective mindset of a successful entrepreneur. You can't outsource that kind of personal development.
So, I'll leave you with this one final thought. Every single week, before you write a single word, just stop and ask yourself this question. The answer you come up with, well, that's the real heart of your reflection, and it's the key to building a better startup.